Dude, I got a freaking belt now. There he is. Stay on there, baby.
Might be her right there. Yep, that's her. I mean, a big one's like. Yes! Gosh almighty.
Yes! This fish is all sunline, baby. Ba-ba-da-da-da. Ho, hey, ho. God, that is awesome. Let's go, boys! Yeah!
Bassmaster halftime show presented by Bass Cat Boats, and it is Championship Sunday, as I always say, my favorite day of the week. And we are in Michigan, the home state of one Mark Zona, and it has been the home state of our 8th stop of the 2025 Bassmaster Elite Series, the Yokohama Tire Bassmaster Elite. Been doing all the festivities at Brandenburg Park, and what a incredible community Chesterfield has been here this week. And speaking of a community, there was, well, miles and miles of aquatic debauchery. Really, it was. Z, I got a little piece of that. I went out there, and I didn't want to leave. I didn't.
Hey, listen, back before I was married to the Scorpion, I got mixed up in one of them jobby nooner situations out there. And here's what I can tell you. You go do that one time, you bathe in holy water the next day, and what you don't do, you don't go back. And listen, Davey tuned me up a little bit on FS1 this morning. He's like, "Hey, were you out there?" And what, no, I stayed away from it. I went out to dinner with Chase Anderson last night. Behaved, actually, somewhat acted like an adult this trip around. Look,
it's weird.
I didn't want to come out full guns firing for the one event.
I don't imagine it'll.
Listen, great drone work from Wes Miller out there. He had good direction on that camera.
The hardest thing I've ever done is yesterday's weigh-in. I'll be honest. I did not care about your 22 pounds of bass. It wasn't near as exciting to me anymore.
And listen, like before I came in here, I told Bowman this yesterday. When I came down Jefferson yesterday, all the party stores were rocking. It's like, 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning. I noticed everything's a little bit slower this morning coming into work. So good times.
Here's the best part that happened there yesterday. So I get in the water. I end up in the water through the segment. I'm there, and rather than walrus my large self up into the boat in front of everybody, I thought, here's the easy route. I got to get back in this walleye boat. I'm gonna get on the back of one of these boats. Sure. All have ladders. I'm gonna climb up there, and I'm gonna get back in the boat. Well, as I made my way over to a boat to ask them, there's one boat to my left, and the guy points at me. He goes, "What do you need? You need a beer?" And I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Wow, there it is.
And I walk over to the next boat, who I'm planning on getting on their ladder and getting. And as I approach them, the guy says, "You need a beer?" And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm climbing up the ladder. The boat beside him says, "Hey, what does that dude need? Does he need a beer?" I mean, and I did.
And I'll be dead honest with you. What I learned watching you out there, if you ever want to get offered all of that stuff, just bring a camera out there. God. And it's like gold. But hey, seriously, talking about this tournament, I'm going to name drop somebody real quick. There's a young angler, used to go to Adrian College. His name is Aaron Jagfeld. And that dude really, for the last 2 months, has dominated out here. Almost like old school Steve Clapper domination, right? Before this tournament, I called him and I said, "Hey, kind of dial me in what we're looking at for this event." And it was funny. He said 2 things. He said, "Here's how this whole thing's going to go down. They just got in Anchor Bay predominantly the last 10 to 14 days. Look, 2 weeks ago, Anchor Bay was a little bit of a ghost town." The other thing that he brought up, he said, somebody, if they can knock on the door out at the shipping channel, that will be the other player. Dude nailed it. If you look at your top 10 on Championship Sunday, that is exactly what's transpired. And one of the things, talking with Davey and Tommy today, there's certain things that you can't describe that you're seeing, and here's what I mean by that, is generally when there is dominance that you're seeing with Trey McKinney, a record-breaking performance, it's usually this dude found a special spot, or this dude found a special bait/technique. He did neither of those. He found the most popular area on the lake, and what he is throwing, it's a bait I've taped a lot of shows with, man. It's known. It's not a secret bait. A 3/16 ounce head shaking a jig head minnow. To do what he has done, I guess here's what I'm trying to get to. It's hard to put into words because basically he has just beat the brakes off of everybody within casting distance of himself. Here's what it reminds me of, same but different. It reminded me a little bit of Van Dam down in Lake Catawatchee, where you're just like, this dude cannot be stopped. And the other thing about it is the guys that were around him visually were demoralized.
Well, let's dig into what's happening on the water with a guy that is trying to dig himself out of a bit of a hole and qualify for his 14th Bassmaster Classic. It's your Yamaha Midday Report, and there look at Brandon Palnick, who has steadily moved up the leaderboard each and every day, Kyle Jesse.
Absolutely. Obviously needed a good one, like you said, coming into this tournament. You know, the last couple of years, Brandon Palnick has always been one of the better smallmouth anglers on the tour. Had a couple tough ones up north, but great to see Brandon Palnick getting it done here this week at Lake St. Clair, doing most of his damage with the drop shot, 2 different baits. Been a lot of fun to watch Palnick on the water.
So bizarre to look at a lot of the anglers that really excelled throughout the tournament were a little bit off of the beaten path in Anchor Bay. I think Brandon Palnick, as a whole, probably burned about 1.5 gallons of gas, where traditionally in a Lake St. Clair tournament, you're burning about $300 a day in gas. Not the case. Some of your leaders throughout this week getting away from the mass cluster of boats, kind of having an area to yourself.
Well, a guy that has a lot to himself and tries to keep it all to himself is Kyoya Fujita. He does not spend a lot of time with these smallmouth. He horses them in the boat. Yeah, boy, I'll be honest, man. We talked about this yesterday. I thought that, you know, after the Classic, Koya and I started to become really close friends. I went as far as to say that we became best friends.
It's funny, this is like...
It's not the case anymore. Koya has shunned me all week long. And listen, watching, and I heard Davey talk about this, there is no way that dude is using 8-pound fluorocarbon line, because he has manhandled them this week. Looks like a small creature style, maybe possibly a dice style bait. I have no idea, but you could tell his bait is not very far under the surface, because when he hits them, you see those fish immediately.
Let's get over to another big mover. Weighed in the second biggest bag of the event. Both Yokohama pros in the top 10 here this week, and Logan Parks, he's a smart corporate angler. He did it right in front of the executives and got inside the top 10 in a big, big way.
No doubt about it. Logan Parks having a fantastic tournament here. This one definitely setting up in his wheelhouse. And, dude, he's been great on camera this week, kind of walking us through what he's been doing. Again, like Brandon Palnick, not very far from our takeoff here on the north side of Anchor Bay.
Let's go, baby.
Parks unofficially is qualified for his second Bassmaster Classic, second in a row. But let's have a look at the guy who has led this event since day number 1, the youngest Elite Series champion in history, the youngest Rookie of the Year in history, and in a 2-way tie with our reigning and defending Angler of the Year, Chris Johnson, going to Wisconsin.
I mean, who would have even thought that? I mean, starting the day with that thing. I'm talking about, that's a Harley Ensign Sea Beast.
Giddy up.
Trey McKinney predominantly using a 3/16 ounce jig head, not a very heavy jig head. 5-inch jig head minnow. Didn't want to get into the exact name of that minnow, but let me say it again, very popular. Taped a lot of shows with it. And that's pretty much been his fastball. Day 2, believe he caught some fish on a dice bait, but said really the dice bait for the most part did not attest to a lot of fish that actually made it to the stage this week.
hard to quantify what he's doing right here. All week long, we have sat there and talked about a pound, pound and a half, 2 pounds, how much that is in the standings. Currently with a 7-pound lead on Bass Track. I mean, it is hard to put that into words.
Yeah, and really, I'll tell you one that I nailed on day one doing a hit with you guys was when I said, hey, listen, this is Lake St. Clair, and by the end of the tournament, it's a horse race, and it's down to the last hour. Dude, this tournament was done this morning at about 9:30 a.m.
I can't wait for the next TNZ because I think the exact words you said was Trey McKinney will not win Angler of the Year.
No,
Tommy
I
Sanders.
did say that.
Directly.
Yeah. Hey,
Like,
listen,
you didn't even.
I've been on the sidelines for a while. Listen, Mike McInnes, the executive producer of Bassmaster Live, in my ear, he said, hey, just so you know, Trey McKinney's going to win Angler of the Year. I'm like, dude, there's no way against Chris Johnston or Jay Shakurin. Not going to happen. Dude has been the Dragon Slayer all week long.
And to pile on with his records, assuming he wins this event and wins it by the weight that he has, the biggest winning weight we've ever had here on Lake St. Clair.
And, man, that's I guess, besides the anomaly of what he's accomplished this week, I was out there and I was near him. I was probably 40 or 50 yards away from him on day one, very early. And it was predominantly, looking at Mega Live, dude, I was looking at singles. Here's what I can tell you. It's like the singles just kept reloading. Because if somebody told me it was going to take 96 pounds, almost 100 pounds, I'd have been like, they're on a 100-fish school. They're just going to burn through them. To do that predominantly on singles, unbelievable.
An incredible week for Trey McKinney, an incredible career. He hasn't even been here 2 full seasons, and what he has done, truly amazing. Trying to chase him down, Logan Parks. Kyoya Fujita in 3rd place. Also in 3rd place in our Progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year race, Brandon Palnick all the way up to 4th place and helping his cause to get to the 14th Classic.
The best of the best just got better. Clear images, sharper resolution, improved target separation. That's right, better. LiveScope Plus, only from Garmin.
Lights. Sonar. Action. Tired of waiting? See more action with world-class fish finders and sonar from Lowrance.
Before there were hashtags, there were handshakes and shared stories. They gave us confidence to make our first cast and chase our dreams. They taught us to fish, and in the process, taught us about life. They taught us that success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about lifting others up. The future isn't just about selling tackle. It's about 3 simple words. Let's go fishing. Here's to the original influencers.
Bassmaster halftime show presented by Bass Cat Boats. It is Championship Sunday, and what a spectacular Sunday it is here on Lake St. Clair. We've been here several times, but man, it just keeps getting better. And when you look at the weights that are being weighed in, I mean, it's not going to be long, and who knows, maybe we'll have craziness today, but it is not going to be long before we see a century belt earned on this body of water.
No, and you know, obviously very surprised with a lot of the weights we're going to get out with Trey McKinney live right here. You know you've done something this week when a lot of the locals, I've talked to a lot of the hammers that live within 10 miles, and they're great on this lake, but when they're like, wow, man, I didn't see surpassing 90 pounds in any way. Like, I thought with what Koya has right now, that's about what it was going to take to win this tournament, not, you know, 7 or 8 pounds more.
Thanks.
Hey, guess what? Trey McKinney's hooked up.
Shocker. The other one was bigger. Look at him, look at him.
And just jamming the tunes
Two
the
big
whole
ones.
time.
It's kind of like he's joining in on that raft off. Tunes playing. Life's good, Trey McKinney.
Well, he ain't ready. He isn't ready. Golly, dude. He's fat, too. Golly. Got him. Woo, son. It's a heavy one. Yes, sir. That's a big one. A pretty big one. No, that's a big one.
No big deal. No big deal. Nothing to be seen here. Just another day.
We'll say that minnow-style trailer that he's using, very buoyant, you know, that a little bit different with that.
You've shot a lot of shows here. What kind do you like to throw, Z? I mean, it's got
I
to the
can't
point.
do that.
Oh,
can't
yeah.
do that. Trey asked me not to.
Yeah, well, I'm not asking you what Trey's throwing, but you throw that kind of bait here a lot.
Good
What
fish
do you
right
throw?
there for Trey McKinney. Going to jump over Canadian Evan Kuhn.
Very first Championship Sunday. Ooh. Shocking. He's looking at him.
You really kind of get a really good one at 30 feet out, Evan Kuhn. You get a good look at what the bottom's like there. That's the west side of Anchor Bay, kind of where I was at on day one. And really looking from 9 out to about 12, 13 feet of water. And it's wherever that scattered grass, kind of, you know, basically you meet those crop circles of sand. And that was a perfect look. They were in that same area. Trey McKinney would start every morning and predominantly like that, just singles.
kind of like that scruff grass or sand grass?
Yeah, it really didn't come up very high. You know, there's a lot of areas of Anchor Bay that have a lot higher grass. Definitely not the areas where a lot of your leaders were at. Evan's a man of few words, evidently.
Ooh, very.
Right.
Does his talking on the scales. It's his first championship Sunday, and it's good to have him here. And hey, if his, there's my friends. There's.
It doesn't look sanitary.
No,
anyway,
who cares? Okay, listen, I'm going to tell you one thing. When I was in that water with my fine friends, the last thing I was worried about is being sanitary.
Right. Ooh, it burns.
At one point, we're there and we're about to leave. We're getting pulled away, and we've all seen mom and dad drop their kids off at the dance or the movies. A pontoon boat rolls up with 25 kids, and it is a football field away. Drops the kids off, gives them each a life jacket. They just paddle their way into the party, and
got it.
Hey, wow.
Bo knows.
Always.
Transition, guys. That's what it's called.
Very professional.
All right, number one, and I have polled every guest we've had today, and I polled everybody at the podium here today, except for Mercer. Which came first, Angler of the Year or Bassmaster Classic? Mercer.
Ooh. God, this is great TV as I say nothing.
I missed it. I totally missed it.
I'm gonna go.
Take your time.
I'm stumped.
Take a load
I'm
off.
stumped. I'm gonna go Angler of the Year, but I feel like that's the obvious answer.
You're the only one that's got it right.
That's exactly
today.
what I was saying. An idiot would choose the classic.
AOY started in
Cliff Notes.
70, and then in 1971 the classic started. The
Well,
interesting
we had
thing
tournaments before the classic, so
yeah, and so since we've had a classic this year, we've got 55 titles for each one of those. The interesting thing in that is that there have been 43 total classic champions. 8 of those are with Clun and Van Dam. But in the AOY, there's only been 28.
It's wild.
Wow. Basically, there's only 16 of most of those guys have multiple AOY things. 7 of those one-time titles, though, have been won in the last decade. All the early guys won multiples. Hank Parker, Larry Nixon, Roland Martin, Jimmy Houston, Bill Dance, et cetera, et cetera. But there's been very, very few multiples lately, except for Brandon Palaniuk, right? So what Bo knows, too, is this is the closest AOY race in elite history for sure, and possibly the Bassmaster. Okay. And I'm going to say it's the closest in Bassmaster.
Okay.
So, basically, the fact that it's a tie after 8 tournaments, 32 days of fishing, and we have a tie going into, and we will have a tie, right? And the tie, if it was over today, it would go to Trey because he had the most weight. But it'll be head-to-head at lacrosse. Weight won't matter at lacrosse. It's just head-to-head. If they finish last and next to last, whoever's next to last wins AOY. So, and all those are the leaders that they had a plus 24 and then came in. I mean, we had the closest one that we can remember in elite history before this was David Mullins had a 16-point lead. And lost to Clark Wendlandt, who won by 3 points.
Yep.
Right? So those are the things that we're talking. That's why I believe, and I've looked through all the stuff. Now, you got to remember, AOY was decided early on by weight. Then it was decided by points. Then it was that points and weight. And then we changed our points. But in the last decade, it's been 1 point for every place. And that is a pretty accurate look. One thing to keep in mind is there's only been that Clark Wendlandt deal is the only time the leader has relinquished the lead.
On the final tournament.
On the final tournament. So.
Really? Didn't Edwin come in here with a lead and Aaron ended up winning
not on the 1 point versus 1 point.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
In the last decade. So the other part of that is we're getting down to the point where ounces matter, right? Chris Johnston missed a cut by an ounce. If he had made the cut, he would go into lacrosse with the lead. He also had a deceased fish, which was 4 ounces, which would have put him in 8th, 9th place, depending on how the tiebreaker went. And he was one of the few anglers that built every day so he could have made a little bit of ground. And seeing if that going into the last tournament with the lead, right, continues to play out.
Let's play that awkward Family Feud game again where you ask Mercer a question and it takes him 37 minutes.
Just because I got it right. You're going to be bitter because I'm the only guy who got it right.
Listen, I love the awkward silence.
I told you by Sunday I'm going to hate you.
I know. Look, man, I'm only here 20 more minutes till next.
Great. Hey, the most amazing thing about the Chris Johnson thing to me is he has yet to make a championship Sunday.
This year.
This entire season.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, well,
Bassmaster live.
They're a look of the party out there, but we're going to continue things on. We got a great guest joining us. This is the Yokohama Tire Bassmaster Elite, and we have the president and CEO, Jeff Barnett, joining us in just a few minutes, and we're going to talk about Yokohama and their involvement with this event.
The Yamaha V-Max SHO. Pure Yamaha DNA designed for reliability and performance. Yamaha's brawny 4.2-liter big block cranks out massive power. Quick out of the hole with sizzling top speed. Unleash the power with 70 amps of charging ability for today's power-hungry electronics. Yamaha V-Max SHO. The game changer still dominates.
At Beat Down Outdoors, we know you depend on your gear to hold up in any condition. Rain, snow, sun, or sleet. We built for that. We test for that. In fact, we pride ourselves in that. Because we know when the time comes to test your gear, you aren't going to take it easy. So we won't. We build premium, made-in-the-USA products that you can rely on in the moments when your equipment should be the last thing on your mind. I guess you could say that's our thing.
It's the moment when everything is on the line and precision, power, and control make all the difference. A moment over 20 years in the making, anchored on loyalty, trust, and support that goes beyond all expectations. A relentless pursuit of perfection. All born from a revolutionary idea to help you rule the water. Power Pole.
Professional angler Jason Christie knows the performance and feel of a reel in his hands is very important. And that's why he designed the new Spro JC Elite and JC Elite MG baitcast reels to achieve both of those goals. The reels have 4 gear ratios for any technique, and the frame of each reel is the same size. So no matter which speed you use, they feel the same. 9 bearings, long casting, and loaded with power. Give the JC Elite and JC Elite MG a try this season.
As a professional fisherman, every decision I make is to win.
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 The boat I drive,
the baits I throw,
the gear I wear.
I do it to win.
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 Because when I'm on the water, I want to be the best.
I
I want to be the best.
I want to be the best.
I want to be the best.
That's why.
That's why. And that's why.
That's why
We wear the best.
Only 9 Elite Series events of the season, and we are whittling them down. The final day of the 8th Elite Series event, the Yokohama Bassmaster Elite. Want to welcome everybody back into the Bassmaster halftime show presented by Basscat Boats, and such incredible aerial footage we've had here this week. And St. Clair always leads great to that with its watercolor. But let's get out on the water quickly with Kyoya Fujita, who has manhandled smallmouth bass here this week. Truly a master. Hooked up live.
Yeah. Yes.
Hammer.
Yeah, over 4 pounds. Yeah. Both flipping.
Why waste your time fighting them? I mean, as Happy Gilmore said, you know, but why not just do that all the time? Why not just do it all? I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 seconds. I mean, literally 2 seconds per pound. A 4-pounder he just manhandles in the boat. Absolutely incredible. This has been an incredible event, and this event wouldn't be possible without the fine folks from Yokohama. We're joined by Jeff Barna, CEO and President. Great to have you here, Jeff.
Great to be here. Just for the record, I didn't know it was Angler of the Year. I was able to look it up in a dictionary before you could answer it. That's how long that took.
Oh, okay. Well, we appreciate the research. You've actually done more research, Jeff, than our entire panel here has done. So thank you for bringing the professionalism to the halftime show. Give me an introduction to Yokohama.
Yeah, Yokohama is a global company. We're officed in Tokyo. We've been doing business for over 100 years. Global manufacturer of high quality, high performance, high durability tires. In the U.S., we were founded here in 1969. So we've been doing business in this market for well over 50 years. Started as more of an enthusiast type of company where we were doing a lot of off-road and high performance tires, but have now expanded the entire line. So we've got everything for everyone in the way of tire assortment. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but if you have an interest in taking a look at our product range, www.yokohamatire.com, you'll see everything that we do, and appreciate being here. It's just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit more about your association with Bass, the Bassmaster Elite Series, being here especially.
Yeah, it happened fast. I'll tell you, we were looking on the outside at the whole series, and then back in 2024, we decided to jump in with an on-site activation at the Classic in Oklahoma. That manifested itself into an interest in doing a full series relationship with Bassmaster, and then ultimately being here today as a title sponsor for the St. Clair event. Really amazing. Taking that a step further, we thought if you're going to go all in, you might as well align yourself with some of the premier athletes, anglers that are out there. And we selected Logan Parks and Brandon Palanuk, who, by the way, are showing pretty well this week, I'd say, huh? Understatement?
Yeah,
hooked up
live right now on cue.
Perfect timing.
Corporate Fishing 101. Why did you choose Bass and Bassmaster? Like, what specifically made you choose us?
Well, obviously, we spend a lot of time around the track. We're a motorsports-oriented company by nature, but there was just something about who you guys appealed to, and I would call it product and application. As an example, I live in Southern California. When I walk out and I look at the car park, I get excited when I see a pickup truck. You guys here in Michigan, they get excited if you see a Tesla, right? So my marketers would call this a target-rich environment, right? The pickup trucks, the CUVs, the SUVs, and that aligns us really well in terms of who we're trying to attract as far as new customers. So we also have a global strategic relationship with Toyota. So the fact that Tundra is a very favored brand among the anglers, that's a great fit. But make no mistake, our products perform really well with the Rams, F-150s, Sierras, Silverados. So a little bit for everything, but just, you know, an amazing alignment in terms of the type of high-quality products your members, the B.A.S.S members, are looking to purchase.
Palaniuk landing a big one there. Fun to see that, of course. Yokohama sponsoring this event specifically. Tell us, you know, what led to that decision for this event specifically.
Well, this event, first of all, thank you for the backdrop. I mean, this is one of the most beautiful places I think I've ever been in our country, and wasn't really on my radar. So the fact that the marketing team was able to settle on an event where we could be a title sponsor in St. Clair was amazing. Metro Detroit is a high-density market. Obviously, a lot of heritage with our country and car manufacturers, automakers. And we have a number of great customers in the area. That led to an opportunity to have a customer-sponsored event yesterday. We did a little pro-am at a little lake called Lake Orion, had a lot of fun with some of the other anglers that unfortunately didn't make a cut, but to our benefit, really took care of us in a big way. So doing an event with customers, we have a lot of big customers here, and again, the heritage and legacy of what Detroit means to our country and auto parts and tires. I mean, just a tremendous fit.
Our tournament leader, Trey McKinney, hooked up live once again. We've seen a lot of that this week. And Jeff, earlier in this segment, you said, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do this, but I learned a long time ago, if the company's name is the title of the tournament, you can do whatever you want. Is there anything else you want to tell us about Yokohama?
Well, look, we'll be here next year. And someone mentioned, had dinner last night or 2 nights ago with Chase Anderson, really working that relationship, trying to see if there are adjacencies that we can expand upon in terms of having even a bigger presence within B.A.S.S and Bassmaster. So I think there's a lot of good things to come. You know, the other thing I'd say, a little bit of a diversion, is, you know, back to the core of our relationship. Yes, it's about the fish. Yes, it's about the equipment and the boats. But, man, it's about the people and the values. And just when we meet the staff at B.A.S S, and we also get to enjoy activation with the customers, the B.A.S S members here, I mean, it's just a tremendous amount of super high energy, positivity. I mean, it's just a great place for us to be. So I would just say be on the lookout for more Yokohama presence and whatever we can do to help elevate this sport. And again, I can't say it enough. Logan and Brandon, someone mentioned Logan a few minutes ago. That is a 45-year-old and a 20-year-old body. That kid is he's got his high character. He's got it together. And anyone looking to explore a sponsorship with a young man or Brandon, you can't go wrong. Just make sure it's not another tire company, right?
Well, thank you for everything you've done for this event and done for B.A.S S, and we appreciate it. And I feel like our relationship's growing here. And I mean, while we're all feeling happy and bubbly, need a new set of skins for the Tundra. Can I give you a holler?
Yeah, check with my people.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll call the people. More coming up from the shores of Lake St. Clair.
What a time to be live. Humminbird's new Mega Live 2 forward-facing sonar is your front row seat to every epic catch, unfolding as it happens with more clarity than ever before. Decipher between dinks and diamonds in the brush. Choose between 15 color palettes and 3 views. Zero in with enhanced bait tracking and marvel at all the jaw-dropping detail. New Mega Live 2. Next-gen clarity, next-level fun. Only with Humminbird.
If you're looking for the best jigs, buzz baits, spinner baits, Epic is the choice for you. Years of experience from every Epic pro angler goes into every bait. Epic Baits, better known, so check us out, America.
Terminal tackle to swim jigs and buzz baits. Epic has you covered.
The best weights that I've used, they never fray your line, no matter if you use a fluorocarbon braid, whatever, you don't have to worry about it.
Keep an eye out for all the new products coming to epicbaitsfishing.com.
So we're not all professional anglers. We don't all compete on the biggest stage. But inside us all burns the same fire to be a champion. It's why you get out early, brave the toughest conditions, Point the bow toward adventure and put the hammer down. For whatever trophy or fish or memory you're chasing, count on a Mercury Pro XS outboard, engineered to deliver the speed and reliability you need to power the champion inside you.
Since 1975, T.H. Marine has been the leader in boat parts and accessories, powering every journey on the water. From trim handles to jack plates, we've built a legacy that keeps you running strong. T.H. Marine, built for life on the water.
This is the brand new B.A.S.S. It's a little bit shallower than the original. It has more of that traditional bass boat look that I love. The layout of this boat's set up really, really nice. Really easy to fish out of, really easy to rig out of. Storage is insane. And this thing's a beast in big water, but also drafts super shallow. So, you know, just a really high performance machine. I can take this boat all across the country, whether I'm river beating or on the Great Lakes, and it handles everything flawlessly.
Good morning, commuters. Looks like we got traffic backed up for miles. Starting with a downed tree blocking East Avenue and a broken water main causing a bottleneck on the westbound lanes. We've got weekend travelers flooding the turnpike, meaning it's bumper-to-bumper traffic for the foreseeable future. I'd get comfortable. You might be there for a while.
Toyota Trucks. Let's go places.
25 years as a touring professional, I have depended on Gamakatsu my entire career to produce the sharpest and the strongest hooks. Known as a power fisherman, but yet if you're going to survive as a tour level pro, finesse is becoming more and more popular, regardless if we go north or we go south. So when you're choosing a hook, choose Gamakatsu. They have one for every technique and every body of water that you fish on.
The newest addition to the Basscat STS family is here. Introducing the Caracal STS, showcasing aggressive styling, paired with enhanced performance and a continued dedication to raising the bar. Measuring in at 20 feet 2 inches with an ultra-wide 96-inch beam and rated for a 250 to 300 horsepower engine, the Caracal STS boasts agility and speed and is finished with premium features to satisfy any angler. Basscat Boats. Feel the rush.
Championship Sunday and a little somber. I mean, I'm happy with everything happened in this tournament, but I just realized just as quick as you came back into our life, you're about to leave it again, Z.
We could do one of them awkward crying moments that I did with Sanders and McKinnis a year ago.
Give it time.
Dude, it has been so great to be back and to actually be part of a tournament. For the most part, dude, I did not see this coming in any way. You know, I thought this was going to be a 87, 88-pound tournament. Eclipsing 90, I thought was going to be really, really hard. To see what he's done in a known area, pretty dang impressive, man.
Pretty incredible, but a guy who has moved up the leaderboard each and every day and continues to do that. Brandon Palaniuk, currently in 4th place, went out in 10th place this morning.
Oh. Whoa, they chased it up when I reeled it up.
He needs every single point possible.
Stopped it. Come on. Thank you. Thank you, that was awesome. Thank you for biting, Bass. Gosh. Oh. So awesome. Not gonna help, but it's so awesome. I mean, just steady, just catching them. It is unreal how many bass are in this lake. Oh, he wanted it too.
That's the setup right there.
Millions of those things in here.
Oh my gosh, it's insane. Insane.
Did we just have an angler actually show us a lure right there? That is so rare anymore.
School.
That is old school.
Well, so weird. So weird. A lot of weirdness here this week. But the one thing that it has stood out all week long. Oh, yeah. I hear that sound. I know what it's connected to. It's connected to Trey McKinney because that is what he is. I mean, that's a ringtone on some people's phones.
I would love to know what his cast to catch ratio has been this week. And what's really messed up about this, and a lot of our viewers that live around St. Clair or fish St. Clair a lot, here's what's staggering. To see what not only Trey McKinney, but really the anglers that are in the top 10 or the top 50 of this tournament is this lake in about 3 weeks. When we get past Labor Day, all the kiddies get back to school, a lot of anglers start thinking about bow hunting and deer hunting. This lake actually, you know this, gets better and better as the fall kind of really cranks off into Labor Day. Like some of the tournament weights, this is nuts, but some of the tournament weights in October, when you get near Halloween, it's hard to actually comprehend if you've never been to St. Clair and you're seeing what you're seeing with Trey McKinney. It will be better in 30 days.
Speaking of better, can we say that this is one of these weeks where he's just fishing better than he's doing it in front of people?
Man, Davey asked me this morning, he said, can you put a finger on why he basically outfished everybody within sight of him, especially on days 1 and 2. Dude, he had so much other pressure around him, and I can't. It's not a secret bait. It's not a secret spot. And I told Davey, it's just one of those weeks. He was better than everybody around him.
He has a lot of those weeks.
He does, man.
When I turn like that, it's over.
You know, and I also talked about earlier this morning, there were so many anglers. I know Brandon Card said this on the stage. Man, and Brandon Card, he was one of the anglers that was in Anchor Bay. I had to go down to 6-pound line and finesse. That is not what he did. 10-pound fluorocarbon leader, a bigger, I would say bigger than average size bait. Maybe that had something to do with it.
Well, from Trey McKinney, a guy who's perpetually here on Championship Sunday, to Cole Sands fishing his very first Championship Sunday.
You know, you see Cole Sands in locked up right here is, you look at Trey McKinney, and obviously Chris Johnston made a really powerful comeback yesterday.
Another 3-pounder, it looks
and he's
like.
my friend. Jay Shakurit driving home right now. How could you have even seen that coming on this lake? A lake that Shakurit has been so dominant on. This is almost like, all right, let's just get this tournament done, get over the Mississippi River in 2 weeks. Look back on this one. And you know what's funny was, I talked with you about this on day one. I talked to Jay Wednesday night, and he was, he's calm all the time, but he was like, it ain't happening. And he made the comment, he said, I'm not seeing a lot of 4-pound fish. And that's what's so confusing to me, because there were so many 4-pound fish caught very close to Jay Shakurit during the tournament.
And Alex Redwine, his roommate,
yes,
that they share a lot. He's in our top 10.
Right.
And Jay, I don't think it's a question of if, it's a question of when Jay will become an angler of the year.
I agree with that.
But I will say, and I'm sure Jay would agree this, you have seen him feel the moment the last couple of events, even back to Sabine. I talk to Jay almost every morning before takeoff. We kind of joke around, and he's always mellow. But all of a sudden, he started saying, I got to catch him. And then when we got, because his feeling of Sabine and 10 Killer was, I got to survive these two. And with what happened on 10 Killer, to just narrowly miss that top 50, I feel like that, feeling the pressure of that moment built on him. And he'll learn from this, he'll grow from this, and he'll hold that title.
You still think he has any shot?
No.
No.
And
I don't either.
I mean,
No, I agree with
sure,
that.
I'd like to say he's a good dude, and I'd love to see him win it in front of Wisconsin, and I'd love to say I'll gladly stand there. If I'm wrong and those two guys burn out and Kyoya burns out up there and he catches them somehow, it'll be incredible. But the percentage, if you're a bookie, you're not putting very high odds on it.
No, and really to look at, I'm being Captain Obvious saying this. Obviously, Trey McKinney having an unbelievable, this has been one of the most dominant performances we've seen when it was supposed to be a close tournament by the end of it. It's not going to be, but man, he is going to have his hands full next week because you are fishing against, obviously, Chris Johnston knows how to shut the door, but dude, Chris Johnston's going to have a lot of bullets in his gun. Whatever Corey finds, Chris is going to have it. So that.
And you're going to a fishery that Chris finished second on the last time we were here.
Right.
Zona, to your point, can you imagine before this event saying that Jay Shakura wouldn't have a chance in the last event? I mean, even if he lost the lead, you would still think he would have a great chance.
On TNZ with Tommy, I said, man, I still think it'll come down to Shakura and Chris Johnston, and Chris Johnston will probably win. I discounted Trey McKinney in a big way, and I look, for lack of a better word, stupid, which happens often.
Speaking of stupid, let's head over to Matt Robertson.
What a transition. Well done.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this morning he told me his wife, who is expecting a baby just a few days ago and is holding on, waiting for him to get home, described her as big as a barn to me.
And you don't do that.
Well,
you don't do that.
Little luck. Stay down. God, it feels big. Feels hammered.
His nemesis this week hasn't been getting bites. It's been converting those bites. He's lost a lot of fish.
Some awkward losses.
Maybe. Oh, God, don't. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, please. Come on, buddy. I'm going to be good to you. I'm going to give you a 5-star stay. I'm going to treat you good. I promise. I'll treat you real good. I promise. Come on, man. Come on, little buddy. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I will be really nice to you. I will pump you fresh water in. Come on, Dave. Come here. Come here. Come here. Let's make a little turn. Come up there and say hi to old Maddie. Well, I thought he was like a 5-pounder, but I think he will definitely cull. Don't you? Oh, yeah. I'm happy we came down here. Stretch,
well, Dave,
got a
something
few
you had
bucks
brought
down
up
here
a few minutes ago.
in practice.
Good fish right there for Matty Robertson, stone cold Matty Robertson. And it hasn't been pretty all week long, Dave. In fact, it's been a little ugly at times. We're going to go through a few of these right now and just let it ride.
Shades of Jason Christie, Grand Prix Classic.
It's not good right there. That is just not good. Come on. Come on. Oh, boy. We love Matt, though.
Wow. Commitment. Just a mouthful of water right there. So close. So close. Well, With him, I just hope he weighs in his fish quick. He's about 11 hours from home, and he gets there safely because that baby is ready to come. And, and
That's
he's
how it
rushing
works.
home because his quest is to call that child Stone Cold Robertson.
Exactly.
Mark Zona, this has been a pleasure and an honor to have you here. Can we convince you, I mean, just to come on back in the road, lacrosse. I mean, you get a week off, a little recovery. Got a wicked suite at the Hampton.
Make you a deal. I'll see you at Fort Loudon and Tellico for next year's Bassmaster Classic. Bassmaster live. Oh, seriously. Hey, dude, I've loved it. It's been awesome being back and seeing everybody. Thanks to Mike McInnes. The whole Bass staff, Chase Anderson, got to spend a lot of time with him. Dude, seriously, it's been awesome being back in the saddle for a week. And keep killing it, guys. Keep killing it. I might head out to actually heading to a very important business pontoon ride for the next 3 days, so I'll send you some pics.
Yeah. A lot of business will get done.
Bassmaster.
Live?
That's the way it works, man.
Indeed. Back to Little Rock Studios. Tommy Sanders, Davey Heights, Such, and Ronaldo.
There's a big one in the reeds ahead. I know it. He doesn't care who I am, what titles I have, how many blue trophies I got, that I've fished since I could walk, or that I've spent countless hours on the water for this moment. It's me versus the fish, and I like to win.
Bass fishing fans, the ultimate destination for Bassmaster merchandise is here and better than ever with an all-new Bassmaster online store. From exclusive apparel to high-quality gear and accessories, we've got everything you need with prices to fit every budget. It's our new, more customer-friendly site with fast shipping and unbeatable quality. All kinds of items to give as gifts to the bass fishing fan in your life or stock up on options for yourself. The goods you need to elevate your bass fishing game and rep your Bassmaster pride. See Bassmaster.shop to check out the latest deals and hottest trends at the all-new Bassmaster online store.
We're known for really small